I can't take care of myself. And I'm always just uncomfortable, just sweaty and just like this is such a bummer. Like it's my nightmare. It's my whole life. Best thing that ever happened to me was boxer briefs. I'm so happy about boxer briefs. It doesn't seem like a big deal to most people, but before boxer briefs, I was trapped between the two awful worlds of briefs and boxers. Briefs are for normal man with one leg here and one leg here. Two totally separate legs with a whole area between. And the briefs go up into this little valley, this little area, and they come down like this, and they can just tuck up in there and just hold them nicely. Because he's got all that air and negative space. But this is just all just mashed together, just upsetting, stingy, red, sweaty, just like, this looks like a pig's ass when I'm naked. Like even my is curly like the tail. Like, this is a pig's ass. And I pull briefs on and they just go, and they just grab my balls. Like, here's your balls, you fat bastard. You like that? And they just dig up in there with this viciously sharp cotton and after a while I'd have just this wad of just damp cloth, just a wad of wet cotton. Just like the size of a tennis ball, like a huge wad of wet cotton. And boxers were worse because they just let everything flap around and touch each other and upset each other. I need everything to be segregated down here. I need everything would stick in and just get. And also when I had boxers on, for some reason, I always had just water. Like a quarter cup of water just sloshing around my all the time. Just, what is this water? It's hovering around my defying gravity, just like an upside down glass of water in my ass. I gotta manage because I can't stop eating. I exercise a lot. I run 5 miles every other day to manage to maintain this body that I have. Because the food, man, I eat like high octane crap. Like
You know what's weird is that there was a guy in my hometown, he might still be there, and we called him Florida Steve.
Why did you call him?
That was his, he was a guy, a little kind of oldish man that walked around town, just walked around, and kids would go up to him, and he'd go, how you doing? He'd just walk up to, hey, hot day, huh? It's hot. It was a routine. It was like an Abbott and Costello.
Was he retarded in any way?
Yeah, I think he was sort of retarded. Yeah. Hot day, right? Hot day. And you go, yeah, it's hot. And he goes, hotter in Florida, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty hot in Florida. He would guide you to what's it like? What's it like down in Florida? It's nice. Girls down there? What are the girls like down there?
Oh, shit.
Well, they got nice girls in Florida. They got big tits. And you go, yeah, they got big tits, Steve. And then he'd put his hand in his pocket and he'd just start jacking off right in front of you. Big bottoms, big... And it was just a routine. It was like Abbott and Costello. And then at one point you'd go, "Hey, what are you doing down there in your pants?" And you go, "Get out of here! I'll cut you to ribbons. You won't say that when the bullets fly." And he'd start threatening you, and then you walk away.
I think every town's got one. This guy called Crazy John,
yeah.
And he used to be behind John's Bargain Store. I don't know if his name was John, but we just called him Crazy John
because he was behind John's
Bargain Store. And he had a shopping cart with a big...
It's like naming a stray dog.
Yeah. It's just we'll name him after the bargain store. Jesus. I know. And he would collect plastic bags. Mm-hmm. And he'd come up to you and just go, plastic bag? Plastic bag? Plastic bag? And you're like, I haven't seen any plastic bags, John. Okay. And then he'd go up to the dumpster. And he had one of those giant... You know those big plastic sunflowers people put in their lawns that spin around in the wind?
Sure.
He had that on his shopping cart. Mm-hmm. And he'd push it around looking for plastic bags. Crazy John.
Remember Eddie at WNEW?
Oh, yeah, another.
Eddie worked at NEW when we were over there, and his whole job was to empty the garbage from offices.
Yeah.
And he loved tits.
Yeah.
where he would uncomfortably stare at tits.
Oh,
Yeah, he had
And-
no switch where it's like, you shouldn't do that.
You take a
Because
glimpse.
if you go, I like that girl. She was pretty cute.
Yeah.
I like that. And meanwhile, he's just looking at her tits, and the fucking girl's all creeped out.
I brought him to the. Somehow the guys talked me into take him out for lunch, so I took him to the Brooklyn Diner, and the waitress happened to have a nice tits.
Oh, no.
It was so awkward.
Jesus.
We could barely eat lunch because Eddie just had to stare at tits the
Jesus.
entire time.
Horniness plus retardation is a
It's-
bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
bad combination.
It's
There's
what-
no switch. They just
No.
like.
Yeah. What do you got, Ant? Brooke Hogan?
I was.
You're a guy, even as a little kid, you love comedy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I the first comedy I was ever exposed to was Bill Cosby, and a friend of mine, Jeff Drew, who I grew up with, he had all of Cosby's records, and I think I was like in second and third grade, and we used to just sit and listen to Cosby just over and over again, just
Yeah.
wearing out the vinyl.
He's so great that we've almost forgotten it. You know.
No, to me the three titans, like timeless, are Carlin and Cosby and Pryor. Those are the
Right.
three guys that I learned about really quickly and loved, and to this day they're exactly as funny.
And for some reason, though, with Cosby, people are like, well, he's so mainstream that
Yeah.
somehow, like, maybe that's easier.
But as a stand-up, he was just incredibly good.
Yeah.
Just really, really great. The timing.
And still is. I mean,
still is, yeah.
I saw him not too long ago on Letterman, and he came out and was just murdering. And he's, I guess, well into his 70s now.
Yeah, and I think people, I mean, I used to study him when I was a kid, and I still do. Like every time I've done a special that was important to me, I go back and look at him because he had great technique and he was like a jazz musician, you know.
Right.
He's a guy, he would keep the microphone at his knee. Like a lot of us, like I came up with young 80s guys, and Kinnison was the big one when I started. So I'd eat the mic and scream into it, you know, and not let up, you know. And but he keeps the mic at his knee and talks at a normal voice. And then when he wants to, he does this. And he knows the power of the different ranges
Right.
and stuff. So
See, I would think that would be a little scary to look at other stand-ups before you did your special because you don't want to pick up inflections or...
well, I don't think it happens to me because I'm looking at really the mechanics, like really the underlying, like how are you using silence, and some of it is just inspiration, you know.
I think Chris Rock is another person who believes in watching public speakers, and you
Yeah.
do that as well. And people forget that it is public speaking. So as a young person, as a kid, you're listening to this stuff, you're kind of studying it, and you said to yourself, this is what I want to do, or was that too far off of it?
No, I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could be something like that, a comedian. I didn't know that there was a road to it, but I really did want to. I mean, when I was in fourth grade, and we had the Gong Show was big on television then, so we had a Gong Show, and I did stand up. I told jokes. I juggled two balls and an apple and ate the apple, and then told bad jokes. That was my first time performing.
Yeah. And how did it feel to you? Was it?
I loved it. I completely loved it. And so I thought, God, Carlin and those guys, they're just talking in great circles. I don't know if I could do that. But when I saw Steve Martin, I thought, I'm weird inside my head like he is.
Well, were you funny with your buddies? Did all your buddies act like you're hysterical?
Yeah, somewhat. I was kind of this little dumpy fat kid. And I wasn't succeeding in anything as a kid. I didn't see anything that I would be really good at. Yeah, I guess I made people laugh when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember a huge laugh I got in, I think it was like third grade or something, and the teacher was talking about the different parts of the skull. You know, the skull has like 2-3 bones in it. I don't remember what they are. And the teacher said, does anybody know the other one? And I said, the noggin. And they laughed a lot.
Yeah. It's like the greatest thing to get those laughs in school, too, when
yeah.
you're not supposed to.
No, the first time I really killed, I was in fifth grade, and we did Free to Be You and Me, the hippie liberal play.
Right.
And which I didn't know at the time I was being used for hippie purposes, but we had a really mean teacher who was really tough, and I grew to like her, but she would like the instant the kids were leaving, she'd light a cigarette. Like you always smelled cigarettes when you walked out of a room. She was so stressed out. So she made us do Free to Be You and Me, and she told me to do a poem called Don't Put Your Horse in a Nightgown. It's an absurd poem. And I had to stand in front of the curtain, like in vaudeville when somebody does a solo act, while they're setting something up and do this poem. And I couldn't remember it. And every rehearsal, I'd start, don't put your, she'd go, louder! And she'd scream at me and say, if you don't know this, you're going to look like an idiot, and you're going to ruin the play. And I was so scared, and I drilled it and tried to memorize it, and then I came out for the play, and I'm looking at everybody's parents and the whole school, and I took a breath to start talking, and I just started laughing. And they laughed. And then I tried, and I started laughing again. And I was up there for like 10 minutes just laughing. And the place was going nuts. It was like a huge, and I walked off, just huge applause. And I went backstage and all the other kids were, you ruined the show. You ruined it. You're awful. You stink. And nobody would talk to me for about a week after that.
So, was it tough being up there? Where you like, hey, I'm getting laughs through my own personality?
I was high off my head, and I loved it. I felt bad when the kids hated me for it.
Sure.
There was part of me inside going, fuck you, little faggots. Fucking, I just killed. What did you do?
Yeah.
Pretending to be a baby and know everybody was yawning.
You know, nobody wants to see the other performer kill. It's always rough, even at a young age.
Yeah, nobody wants to follow that. Exactly.
So in school, were you the class clown? Were you the wise ass?
Not really. I had ADD a lot, I think, or I don't know. I don't think it's that simple. But I was just, I was a bad student, and I fell asleep a lot. I had low energy. I was kind of fat, sugar, low energy. And I remember being depressed a lot. So I wasn't that funny to other kids, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, you said, I want to do this. How did you get up on stage first time?
I was in high school, and I was listening to the radio, to WBCN in Boston, and they used to have 5 o'clock funnies. And so they had a guy on named Chance Langton, who was a comedian in Boston, and just a local, I didn't know there was local comedy. I thought it was just those huge guys with albums. And all of a sudden I'm listening to this guy who's really funny. And then they came on and said, that's Chance Langton. You can see him this weekend at whatever, at the Comedy Connection. And by the way, if you go to Stitches and on ComAv on Sunday nights, you can go on, anybody can go on. It was open mic night. Just show up and sign up. And so I started to try to think of 5 minutes. And I thought I had an hour of amazing material. Like I literally thought, like, I've got so much shit, and I'm going to go up and blow them away, and I'm going to be a star tomorrow, like next week. Like I'm making my plans. I don't have to do any homework. I mean, I'm going to be a huge star. Because I also pictured I'd be the only one, and I pictured all these like a guy with a cigar. Who's the new kid? You know. I'd be like, this is the kid, and all these grown-up comics would be like. But I get there's a line of really competent comedians who are just doing open mic night. Right. And there was a lot of competition. But I got on stage, and I did a minute and a half to total silence. Every single thing I did was a terrible idea. Just total. And also, I'm looking at a bunch of grown-ups drinking. These are like people in their 20s and 30s, like in Boston and bar drunks. And I'm trying to make them laugh, and it was one of the worst things to date that's ever happened to me. Was the first time I ever went on stage, and I was so ashamed. And do
you remember any of the jokes or anything that you were doing?
Yeah, I can't. I remember all of it. I remember the whole set.
But it's kind of like I just asked you, hey, tell me about the time you were molested when you were
exactly. Oh, well, like you could just I was about 14, and my dad I think it must have been fall, because it was, the Red Sox won the playoffs, I remember, and I jizzed on my face. And I said,
I think it's good to have some scars that don't heal.
Absolutely.
The pain is still there.
To me, that's what started a pattern of my whole life, which is survival of failure. Mm-hmm. And I think if you can go to places and fail and come out intact, you've got a huge wealth of information.
Sure.
Bombing is much more instructive than when you kill. You just go, all right, look at me.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything. You don't even remember why you killed.
Yeah.
You just go, oh, it was great, because I'm great. That's why.
Yeah.
But when you bomb, it's like a murder happened to you, and there you've got data, you got evidence. It's like forensics.
CSI now.
Yeah, you walk around poking things with a pencil and go, well, if you hadn't said this after that, it wouldn't have gone so bad. And you have a huge wealth of information.
Yeah, it is really funny at that stage where you go back and go, I came out with the wrong attitude immediately, and then you don't have the skills to pick it back up.
Exactly.
You know? And when the audience sees the lack of confidence.
Oh, they just pounced with hatred. They were so mean too, and it was just awful. I mean, just with silence, I felt they were mean with silence. They didn't do it. They didn't make a noise. Nobody heckled, but I hated them. I felt really hateful towards the audience, and I tried it one more time. And I wasn't going to do it, but Kevin Meaney, who was a comic in Boston at the time, I worked at a video store, and he used to come in and rent videos, and so I got to know him, and I told him that I had tried stand-up, and he said, "Oh, you got to come do my show." And he had a show called the Sweeney Meaney Show, which was the biggest show in Boston. He said, "You got to come on my show." And I said, "Oh, I've only done it once, and it was bad. Let me get good at it." And he goes, "No, I want you now." Because it's comedy tragedy. I want to watch you bomb on my show. And I went and did his show, and it was packed, and people were so excited. And him and Sweeney did this "We Are the World" thing that it was just destroyed. And then they brought me on, and I equally, worsely bombed. And I can't describe how horrible that felt. And I was 18, and I knew I wasn't going to go to college, and so I'm like, well, I can't be a comedian. That's not going to work.
Right.
It was really depressing.
It is.
I didn't do stand-up for almost a year after the second time.
But, I mean, now, looking back on it, you would expect it, because it's almost like you put on some shoulder pads and a helmet and walked out with the Patriots.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I think I can play this.
Yeah, I can do this. And
Have you ever played? No, I watched a lot, though. And I think I'm ready.
Exactly. And I was a kid. I was this. Somehow I got skinny in those years of my life. So I was this weird skinny kid with a big head, looking nervous. I mean, the only thing worse than being me would have been watching me in the audience. I think. There's probably still people in those two audiences that, like, once in a while go, "Oh God, that was that kid. That was awful," and they remember it as well as I do.
And then they'll see you on Letterman or something.
Yeah, they go,
now.
"No, that's not the same guy.
Can't
That's
fit.
not the same guy."
That odd kid. But you came up with a good point. Like, any thinking person, any person that could learn would go, "I can't do this. I won't go back."
Yeah.
What is it about you that said, I got to go back there?
I guess I looked back at the pain of it, and I thought, well, I did it. It hurt, but I survived it. Well, what really happened was, like, almost a year after the second time, I went to this place in Boston, and in Cambridge, really, this place in Central Square, you know, the Cambridge kind of Harvard weird hippie area. They had a place called the Off the Wall Cinema, which showed old movies and weird movies, and I used to go there. And they had comedy night every Saturday at midnight. So I went to that, and it was a totally different crop of comedians. They were just weird. It was hosted by a guy named Ron Lynch, who's just a really strange, esoteric comic, and they were really offbeat, like Steve Martin was. And I thought, oh, that I can do. So I begged him. I just went up to the host and said, "Please let me go on here." And he said, "I only use, professionals." And I said, "Just please." I was, this kid just saying, "I have to do this." And he said, "You need to make a tape. I need to hear a tape." And I didn't want to go back to the Stitches. So I got my friends to get in a room with me in a tape recorder. And they clinked glasses together so it sounded like a nightclub. And actually, I was so afraid to do it that my friend he did music, so he had a 2-track recorder. So I was in the room alone telling the jokes. And then afterwards they recorded. And I didn't let them listen to the jokes. I listened to my part and went laugh here. And I actually thought that and I gave it to Ron, and he listened, and then the next week I came back and he said, "Well, if you invite those idiots on tape to sit in the front row," but he put me on, and I started doing it, and I had a little success, little titters, little tiny laughs, and that was enough to me.
To keep feeding on that, yeah.
Yeah, because I liked it. To this day, I still go I'm not going to be good at that. Let's try it.
You still, to this moment, like to stretch yourself. Because your career has taken you into some really strange places where I say most stand-ups wouldn't even think to make some of the moves that you've made as far as making films and, writing for shows and other people. You're doing a lot of stuff throughout, I guess in the early days that none of your peers were doing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Because I also was interested in making movies.
You ever flush a pet down the toilet? I had to flush my daughter's fish down the toilet. I came home, the fish was dead. She wasn't home from school yet, so I just flushed the fish. And that's a weird moment, too, because fish live in water. So you put it in the toilet, floats to the bottom, like, yeah, he's dead. And then you flush, and it looks like he goes, wait a second, I was taking a nap, Jesus! You gotta be in constant motion, you gotta be respecting his house. And then my daughter comes home. Why did he die, Dad? Come on, what am I gonna say? Why did he die? Because who gives a shit? That's the reason. That's the actual reason. Is because it didn't matter that he was alive. That's why he's dead. He didn't know his name and he didn't love you back. These are the facts about that fish's life. My daughter likes fish. We took her to the aquarium. I took both my kids to the aquarium in Boston, and we were looking at this seal or sea lion. I don't know which one. I don't care. I don't think they need to be separate things. I really don't. They don't care, and we don't care. There's like 3 scientists who give a shit what we call all those things. The scientists could go on TV tomorrow and say, okay, everybody, from now on, seals and sea lions and walruses and you know what? Penguins are all seals now. And we would all be like, yeah, fine. Yes. Whatever, man. Anyway, so we're looking at this sea lion thing, and he's looking back at us through the plexiglass, and he's going, ugh. They're really disgusting in person. Most animals are when you really see them. You ever go to a farm, you think you're going to see little white sheep going, bah, but they're all fat and colored, and they're like, bah. Jesus. That thing is awful. Anyway, seals don't go, they go, ugh. My daughter's like, what does he say? I don't know. I'm a slave. Kill me.
I mean, here's the bad news. You're going to die. But here's the good news. When you get closer, you're going to want to die. It doesn't keep being good. You don't get to keep your life the way it is. Like, I'm 55. Both hands hurt. Both hands. Both my hips hurt. I'm lucky I have only one hole. The whole body hurts. When you're like in your 30s, you don't even think about it. You're like, because here's like, there's the beginning of your life and there's the end. So like you start like in your like here by your 30s, you just shuffle. You don't even aware of this movement. You're just shuffling along. Hey, this life is good. It's pretty cool. And then somewhere you're kind of aware that way down there people are falling off the edge. Oh, I don't know. It's weird. And then you're not thinking. Then all of a sudden you're close and you're oh fuck, I knew that guy. Oh my god. Holy. But there are signs that your time is coming to an end, you know? Like they don't make my shampoo anymore. They don't make it. I was like, why'd you stop? Like, you're the only one. Nobody cares about you. And so I thought, I'm going to make my own. I'm going to make my own shampoo. I'm going to look it up online. I'm going to look at the ingredients. I'm going to make my own. And I found myself at a dinner telling a table full of people. So I decided to make my own shampoo. That's one of those moments where you tell yourself, just don't tell folks anything. You don't need to say it out loud. Just do what you're doing, die as soon as possible. Do I have a huge stain? Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. So what? Okay. No. Who's running? Oh, okay. I thought they were coming to bring me something. There's nothing you can do. You'd have to change my whole lifestyle for the rest of the show. It doesn't matter. I'm fat. I'm a fat guy. I'm fat. My pronouns are that fat and... But here's the thing, I have body dysmorphia. I think I look good. I I like this. I'm fine with it. I decided to stop exercising. That's what I decided this year. I'm just not doing it anymore. I made it to 55. If I stop exercising now, it just means I might make 75 instead of 78. It's not that big a f***ing deal. I'm just not going to do it. You know who inspired me? Was Trump. It's the one thing he said that I liked. I don't know if you ever heard this, but Trump believes, he just believes, nobody told him this, but he believes that you should move as little as possible because you have a finite amount of movements and then you stop. He believes that. He just went, yeah, that sounds right, and he just thought it up. And he's proving it to be true. I mean, it's working. I don't like the new exercise either. I don't like the Peloton. You know, it's a bike you ride, and there's a video that encourages you. And they have that mirror that you stand there, and it teaches you exercises. Then they have that gun you put in your mouth, and you... No, you shouldn't kill yourself. That's what I think. You should not kill yourself. That's my opinion. I don't know you. Ask somebody that knows you. But my general feeling is you shouldn't kill yourself. You know why? Because you're going to die anyway. You're going to die. What are you getting violent for? It's going to happen. I wish I was dead. You will be. Just sit there. You don't have to do anything. It really is the most effective argument against suicide, is that you're going to die either way. It also happens to be the best argument for suicide, which is awkward. Go ahead, you're going to die if you don't. Anyway.
Hey, this is interesting. The other day, a guy told me to a bag of dicks. That was interesting. I never heard that before. Total stranger told me to a bag of dicks. A whole bag of them. He was angry. He didn't just, a bag of dicks like a greeting. A bag of dicks. You too, sir. Thank you very much. Yes. It's a lovely day for several bags of Now, what happened was I cut him off in traffic. It was just one of those things where I had to get in, and no one was in my car to judge me, and I just decided he's not me, so I don't care what happens to him, and I just cut him off. And just thing to do. And it was bad because he was coming fast because he didn't imagine in a million years someone could be that big of an asshole. And so when I did it, he had to slam on his brakes and his dog went poof in the windshield. It was really very bad. Very bad. And the worst part is when you cut people off, they don't vanish. They're behind you now. So I'm looking back and he's like, he's so mad. And he keeps trying to get next to me because he just wants to see my face. He's just dying. He's like, I gotta see this now. I gotta see the face of the piece of shit that just did that to me. And I keep cutting him off because I don't want him to see. I'm ashamed of what I did. Nope, you don't. Finally, we get to a red light, and I gotta face him. Only because there's a car in front of me, otherwise I would have blown right through there. But there he is, just furious. And I'm like, I know, it was awful. I shouldn't have done it. And I'm not mad. I was wrong. Why would I be mad? And he's like, fuck you! And then he starts going like this because he wants me to roll my window down like I'm supposed to take part in my own abuse during this argument. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to miss this. What do you have to say about me? Yes? How rude of me to shut out your anger with my... So I did. I rolled it down. I'm interested. And he goes, hey, and I'm like, yeah. He says, a bag of and then he drove away. And I was kind of sad that he drove away because I had a lot of questions. That concept of in a bag of it's just weird. Like, first of all, when you picture a bag of what do you see when you picture a bag of Is it like a plastic bag and they're all mushed in together like chicken parts and with a date written on it with Sharpie, keep it in the freezer? Or is it like a paper bag and they're sticking out like baguettes, kind of like you went shopping? Bringing home a bag of for the kids? Here you go, Susie, take a blue one. You know, like a little... I don't know, they were hanging in a window somewhere. Give me 2 of those. And how do you a bag of dicks? What does he want me to do? Does he want me to take a bag of dicks and it, like the side of the bag? Or does he want me to open the bag and each dick individually and throw the used ones in a bowl like edamame shells, like that? Do I have to make them all come? You know, like how? I don't know. I never even one dick, so it's not an area that I understand. I've never Isn't that weird? I've never my whole life. That's weird to me. It is. It's weird. Because almost everybody has when you think about it, most people on Earth. It's true. Because 51% of the population are women, and they then there's all the gay guys that then there's all the straight guys who have been forced to under various circumstances. So there's only like 1,000 of us out there who never blew anyone. Just a bunch of selfish that are getting blown and not blown back, you know? It's like that's what people do. We all and I haven't done it. And I don't have like a big reason not to either. I don't have a policy against it's not something I'm against doing. I just have never seen a dick I wanted to That's really what it comes down to. I've never seen a penis that inspired me to it. Every I've ever seen has bummed me out. I hate them. I hate them. They ruin my day when I see them, but that's just so far. I mean, how the do I know? There might be this guy right here might have a beautiful this guy, if I saw his I might go, oh, that's just going in my mouth right now. And I'd have to blow him. And hold him down and blow him. That's the kind of, I would like rape blow people. That's what I would like, hold a guy down and blow him despite him. That's the kind of shit I would do. Just to, you know. I'm just saying I'm not prejudiced. I haven't seen that many. There's billions, literally billions of in the world, and I've seen like 40 at the most. So how the would I know? What, is that too many? Yeah, that's too many, right? 40, Jesus Christ. I'm only 39. It's a year plus another one. Why am I saying 40? That's a lot. That's like 2 bags of right there. At least 40. All right. I never understood people judging people for the way they have sex. So some people get angry at homosexuals just for being gay. They get mad at them. Arr! I never really understood that, you know, because they're just having sex with each other. It's like I can understand if gay people were just running out in the streets, just people in the ass willy-nilly, just like a pestilence, like without asking, you know, like you're at the ATM. Hey, what the f***? Jesus! God damn it! Some faggot just me right in the ass. Seriously. Fucking right through my pants. He ruined my new pants. Fucking shit. Another one. God damn it. I gotta get the home. This is ridiculous. But they generally don't do that, so I don't know what the problem is. People get mad. They don't want them to don't get married. Well, you don't have to go to the wedding. What the you don't have to buy him anything? It doesn't matter. So, some people go like, well, then a guy will marry his dog. Good. I hope he blows his dog. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect on your life. What the do you care? Or people that try to talk like it's a social issue. Like when you see someone stand up in a talk show and say like, how am I supposed to explain to my child that 2 men are getting married? I don't know. It's your kid. You tell him. Why is that anyone else's problem? 2 guys are in love, but they can't get married because you don't want to talk to your ugly child for 5 minutes? Who cares about your kid? He's probably a faggot anyway. How stupid is that? All right. Stupid. I don't know. The only thing that bums me out though is that you're not supposed to laugh at gay people when they're funny, because sometimes they just are. They're funny. Like I lived in New York for a lot of my life, and in my neighborhood everybody was gay. And it you know, some guys are just a guy walking down the street, but some gay guys are a guy in little shorts and a half shirt and you know, combat boots spray painted green and a whistle, and he's standing on the corner going, "Hello, hot outside." That's not a stereotype. Those guys exist by the thousands. And when I see them, I laugh really loud. I just do. And people are like, don't laugh at him because he's gay. No, I'm not. I'm laughing because he's weird and silly. He's hilarious. How am I supposed to react? Hello? Oh, hello. Hello, yes. Seriousness is, yes. It's stupid. The thing that she's usually mad about is simple. She says that I don't listen to her when she's talking. And I don't. But it's not because I don't love her, blah, blah, blah. It's because I try to listen. I really do. When she talks, I just stare at her face. I'm like, come on, bring the story. But somehow I'm like, what the I can't do it. I tried. Because every story gets divided into 50 stories that all branch out into these crazy, and I'm like, holy shit. I've got ADD. I can't do it. I'm like, please. But I try every time I try because I love this retarded woman. So I try really hard to listen to her stories. Other people don't even try. We go to parties, she starts talking, people just walk away like, this, that lady's crazy. Who would waste time listening to that crap? Me. She can't help it. I really feel bad for her because the thing is that every word of the story gets her so excited that she wants to run with it, and she can't just break through and get to the end or even the beginning. This is my wife telling a story. She's like, guess what happened to my mom today? You remember I told you my mom how when she was in college, not when she went to Michigan, when she transferred. Remember because that guy got weird and she had to leave because he was not the Iranian guy. That was a different story. That guy, I think he was Persian. I heard that Persia actually split. What the are you talking about? Jesus Christ! Pick a thing! Have some consideration for the listener.
PTA as a filmmaker is it feels like the movies are an organ of his subconscious sometimes. There Will Be Blood is him maturing to being a lot more honest, beating the guy to death with the thing and then saying I'm finished is just upsetting, and it's unresolved, and it's disturbing, and it's disappointing. And all of those are valid emotions to feel at the end of a movie. You can't tell a story about a guy like that and have it have any other ending. You could sit here right now and try to write 50 endings to There Will Be Blood, and they'll stink. For me, watching that movie was like having this warm chocolate just fed into my throat. I'm constantly lost in thought about that movie. Anytime it comes up, I just walk down the street and think about it. That's what a movie should do. It shouldn't achieve its goals. It shouldn't. A great movie to me is all tattered ends, like an arm was torn off, and it's just blood in the wind. Somebody who's got more. You could never reach to the end of his wealth ever. That's the way it feels. He's got a bowling alley in his house. I think there's also this absurdity that the world around him has these things like bowling and milkshakes, and that he's just a guy with whiskey, and once in a while they bring him a milkshake. He doesn't even know. He's never been to a place that serves milkshakes. He doesn't know any. He's an animal. He's not in control of wanting anything. He's just pure drive. He just sags under the weight of everything that he accumulates, and he has this desperate desire to have himself carry on in another person. Big up animal. And so the dryness of his feelings at the end, and like there's a horrible, desperate look into the void of humanity that I think is very emotional. It's not emotionally, it doesn't have those sunny emotions. It doesn't have the primary color emotions. It's on another level. It's a different, and it's those strange alloyed emotions. It's not gold or zinc, it's brass or something. It's a really up strange thing that he created in that movie. I've never seen it repeated. I've seen 1,000 movies that make me feel like, all right, and I know those feelings, and I'm happy to have them again every time I see him in a movie. All the movies are not that, they're not that kind of, it's a different kind of satisfaction, and it's extremely emotional. This guy's lack of love is as interesting and valid and emotional as other people's great look how much I love everybody things. I don't have this, I don't impose this goal on movies. We're going to reveal something new about the character or he's going to learn. It's not when it's this specific kind of character that is relentlessly one thing.
And I was standing in front of a drugstore. And in the window of the drugstore, they had a wheelchair on display in the window. Is that really an impulse purchase? I should get a wheelchair. That would really help with my paralysis. Then I wouldn't have to drag myself everywhere I go, like I've been doing for 10 years since my legs were blown off at the marathon. Okay. Bunch of hypocrites, apparently. Because, let me point some out to you. Mother. You were just, like, seconds ago, laughing at a man with no legs crawling on the ground. You're just... And then at the end, you're like, oh, but not those particular legless people. No. We thought you meant just some with a childhood disease who deserves to be laughed at. Not one of those. Now, we're laughing at all legless people equally. However you lost your legs. Ha ha ha. You haven't legs. And we've legs. I have legs. I have 2 legs. 2 legs. That's the maximum amount. I love having 2 legs. I love it. I wouldn't like having no legs. I really don't think I would like it. I think it would suck. I think it would out of the balls of Christ. It's an old Southern expression. It's not used like it used to be. I think 2 legs is better than none. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not popular. You're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to always be very positive about disabled people. But I think that puts pressure on them to be positive. What if they don't want to be? Because the only story we want to hear is about the amazing disabled people. He's amazing. He lost his legs and then he won the leg-having contest. What about disabled people who aren't amazing? Who are just ordinary with a sweatshirt and some potato chips and he's going, fuck, I wish I had legs. No, this is better. This is better with no legs. Why is it better? Because you can do anything now. I can do 4 things. Fuck off. I just don't know that our positive, non-disabled attitude really helps. Like retarded people. We're going to talk about retarded people for 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We're going to discuss retarded people for 20 minutes. It's not okay to never speak of them. No, we're going to talk about them. First of all, I want to talk about the word retarded, okay? Because the word retarded, it's a bad word, and people do not like the word retarded. They find it very offensive. Now, I'm a little confused by this, because it wasn't always a bad word. And I grew up in the 70s, and it wasn't bad back then. And most bad words were always bad. You know, cunt never had a day in the sun. There was never a time where the Santa Claus at the mall was like, come here, you little cunt, tell me what you want for Christmas. And then in the 90s, we're like, let's lay off a cunt a little bit there, gang. No, we used the word retarded in the 70s. We used it to identify people who were retarded. It wasn't controversial. It wasn't like he's retarded. It was like, he is retarded. This fellow right here is retarded, right? I told you, yes, you're still retarded. He is retarded, everyone. And I grew up in Boston. We didn't say retarded in Boston. We said retarded.
He's retarded. God bless him, he's retarded.
That's the way we used it. With love. Help the retarded. That's what people said in the 70s. Help the retarded. There was a lady outside the supermarket near my house every Christmas with a bell. She was like, help the retarded. Help the retarded. You gonna tell me she was a bad person? She was helping the retarded. And I feel like we had more of them around back then. I haven't seen one in years. In the 70s, there was a retarded guy in a windbreaker on every street corner. We were using the word, and they were more in our lives. I swear to God, they were more. They were in our culture. There was TV movies about retarded people all the time. Tonight on ABC, A Retarded Boy's Dream. There was one, I remember with Sean Cassidy. I don't know if you remember Sean Cassidy. Some of you too young. But Sean Cassidy, he began his career as a teen pop idol. He was a 13-year-old boy with a very hit song called Da Do Run Run. And he had feathered blonde hair and juicy lips. And he was on the cover of Teen Beat magazine. And everybody liked Sean Cassidy because he was sexy. He's a sexy boy. I thought he was sexy. I did. I thought he was really sexy. I was 6 years old. But I already had inappropriate sex feelings for teenage boys when I was 6. I was an old soul. I was a pedophile when I was 6. I used to go up to teenage boys when I was 6, like, hey, how's it going? That kid's weird, he's got a boner. Anyway. Not anymore, I outgrew it, but no. I'm not sexually attracted to teenage boys. I'm not. But I don't not get it. I mean, I get it. I'm not like, what? Like, you can see it. Like, I was in an airport once, and I'm walking along where people walk in the airport, and there's these chairs facing the aisle, and there's this family sitting there, a mom and a dad and 2 teenage boys. And they're like just both sitting with their phones with their legs. They're wearing like these shorts. One had cutoff shorts and one had basketball shorts. And they both just had their legs open because they don't give a Both legs just splayed. And then just smooth, you know, just very and I saw it. It didn't do anything to me. But I kind of wanted to stop and go, hey fellas, let's close that up, huh? You're not getting me, but I know you're causing a problem for somebody in this airport. Let's close it up. I did not say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, let's return to the comfortable subject of retarded people, shall we? So, Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was a teen singer who then grew up. He was about 18. Now he was, old and gross. Nobody wanted to him. So he started to act. And he had a movie on TV called Normal People, where he played a retarded man who wants to live a normal life. It was very inspiring, actually. And at one point, he didn't do like a big retarded character. He wore thick glasses. He talked like Elmer Fudd. That was the whole thing. So he goes up to the guy who runs the group home he lives in, and he says, I want to get a job. And the guys who runs it is like, Republican conservative. So he's like, you can't get a job, you're retarded, And, but then there's a liberal lady who works there, and she says, of course he can get a job. He's as good as anyone. So they let him get a job as an air traffic controller, whatever was available. And then he meets a woman who's also retarded who lives at the group home. He falls in love with her. It's a very nice love story. And he says, we want to get married. And the guy says, she says, but they're in love. So they get married. And then one day he says, we want to have a baby. And the liberal lady says, no way. And they just shut them down right there. And that's the end of the movie. I swear to God, that's just how it ends. And the point of the movie is just, hey, there's a limit. Like, that's, I guess, what the point of it was. And that's pretty intense. But hey, retarded people were on television. We were talking about it. We were dealing with it. And they said the word retarded about 50,000 times in the movie. Now we don't say the word, and I don't see them anywhere. I guess that's my problem with it. And also, the word is not basically a bad word. It's a medical term. But it became a bad word because it's used as an insult, really. Not towards retarded people. Nobody does that. Nobody calls retarded people retarded to insult them. What would be the point of that? It would be like going up to a chair and saying, "You're a chair." Like, what are you doing? No. People use it on their friends. Like, you're at a bar, your friend's like, "I don't have any more money for beer." And you're like, "You're retarded." Do you know that? And in that moment, no one retarded is insulted. They're not. Do you know why? Because they're not there. Because we don't include them in our lives. They're not at the bar. How many of you have a retarded drinking buddy that you hang out with? No, you take them to the zoo when they're little and then fuck them. This is what I find confusing about this thing, is that we told many generations of people that they are retarded. We told them that that's what they are, and they lived with it, and they dealt with it. And then we just decided it's a bad word. So did we tell them this? Did we go back to them and explain this to them? Listen, Nelson, I have something to tell you. You're not retarded anymore. You mean I'm cured? No. No, we're not even working on it.
When I saw Phantom Thread, I thought Paul Thomas Anderson is the best guy working right now. He's at his best right now, and he's the best one making films right now. Martin Scorsese is a legendary, untouchable filmmaker. His films today aren't at the caliber, I don't think, in terms of richness and the effort made, and the rawness and the honesty. Just such good filmmaking. Sorry, I'm taking too long to say what I think about it, but yes,
no, that's great.
I had the same experience, Joe, of fetishizing the inside of his home in the country and the little car and how disturbed he gets. It was funny as fuck to me how disturbed he gets. And I remember one day I was shooting my show on Fifth Avenue, and we had a little white tent with some with our electronics and some shit under it, but we took up a little bit of the sidewalk, and Daniel Day-Lewis walked by, and he hit his head on our tent, and I was in awe of watching him walk by, and he hit his head on the tent a little bit, and I said, "I'm sorry, did you hit your head on that?" And he, without looking back, he said, "Yes, I did." Really? And I was like, my God, there's a little bit of him, and I don't know him at all. There's a little bit of him in these characters. When he's pissed off, he's the funniest thing in movies. He's like Joe Pesci level of acid. It makes me laugh so much throughout Phantom Thread. I'm just delighted.
It's very funny, yeah. His
how
frustration
annoyed
is
he
hilarious.
is by anybody who isn't his sister or a client or a dress. Everybody else needs to go fuck themselves. And yes, that this woman, by killing him a little bit every day, is able to hang on to him. That's also every human relationship. Every loving together two people relationship has a little bit of Munchausen, and a little bit of this crazy manipulation of one person who's such a white hot heat that the other person needs to cool them down and then let them grow and then cool them down. It's beautifully done.
I
I feel like that's that attention to detail and that willingness to really give in to the world that the movie lives in. What is this making clothes thing, and what is it at this level, and what kind of a guy is this guy? What makes him great at this? And we're gonna sit there and really fetishize that.
Right.
You start to get off on the clothes and the way that everything that gets him off, and you watch and the way he looks at her in his
his command of his client and his respect of his client and his home, and his sister, who's a lot like There Will Be Blood, the guy that hangs out with him, his partner. If you never replaced what your mother did for you, I mean, then you'll always pine for her. I mean, you never replace when your mother dies. You guys both still have your moms, I think. My mom died a couple of years ago, and the thing that you face is that when your mother dies, because it usually, I mean, look, when people lose their moms early in life, it's a whole other experience I didn't have. But I lost my mom in my 50s, and like my mom said, that's appropriate. Like when I said to her, "I don't want you to die," she said, "This is the way it works. We're going in order, and this is the age you're losing me at a pretty average age." But the thing that goes with your mom is the realization you'll never get this kind of support again, and you don't have it coming any longer. It's now your job to offer it to other people. That's a big thing. But when you lose your mom, if you don't fill your life, you only are able to handle that if you find other sources of love, or if so this guy was a slave to his art. So that's why losing his mom was such a devastating thing. But this is his one hopeful movie. If all these other movies are a search for connection,
this one achieves it.
If The Master is two insane people only finding each other, if There Will Be Blood is a man steadfastly refusing love and what happens to a man like that, this movie is all these movies are about crazy people. They're all about madness. And I mean, the Old Country for Old Men is a whole other subject. It's about being a man and all kinds of other shit, and aging. But this movie is like, this guy found a way. And it's true that if you're going to love somebody and have them be a real part of your life, you need to let them kill you a little. You need to let them you need to give something in return. And they need to take a person who's There Will Be Bloodish in life, just exploding with ability and gain and success, is alone. And this incredible artist in The Phantom Thread has this woman who needs to, but also she has this great shining thing in her, and he douses her a little bit because he takes her out of she was this blooming rose in the world, and he takes her into the shade with him, into this dark world. So she's giving up a lot too. It's an interesting partnership, and it is true. You're not gonna find somebody without giving up some of what you value. Romance, a new romance, a honeymoon period is something that makes you feel, I'll never be lonely again. That's the feeling you have. This is candy. This is like a fairy tale, and it'll never be anything else. And then you find out, oh no, I'm terribly lonely. Even though this is the right person for me, I'm still lonely. How do we maintain this now that reality has come back? At first, art is a way to keep away the feelings, to feel good about yourself, and to as a defense. The thing that when you watch an artist sustain is when they're able to take their dedication to their art past the point of romance. When you lose the honeymoon with your art, and it becomes a business partner instead of like a real marriage. Then you're doing it because you believe in it, and you're doing it when you in a way that isn't just like, ooh, how this makes me feel. You'll go the rest of your life having these conversations where you go like, yeah, it doesn't work. Marriage doesn't work. And anybody who's doing it is faking it, or, whatever. The thing that I love about this movie, again, and with his whole trajectory in his career, is that you couldn't have two more different movies than Hard Eight and Phantom. Yeah. You couldn't have two more different movies. Two different textures. There's just so much that they don't have in common. Bunch of losers in Vegas trying to get a little something out of life, and then the Phantom Thread. But if you watch him go, it's kind of like you can't ask for any more different language than English and Russian. But if you walk from England through, across the continent, you'll gradually get there. From French to Belgian to German to Finnish to whatever. It's so clear the walking from Hard Eight to Phantom Thread. It makes perfect sense. They're all connected. They're all the same guy, and when he gives himself completely though to the next thing, he really takes the next step. He doesn't reuse old tricks, which like Spielberg is, I think, a master filmmaker. Not every film he's made has been great, and he likes to work more than some people do. So he just makes more movies, but he has tricks, and I enjoy them. He has a bunch of things he does in every single movie. He does all the same shit. This guy doesn't do that.
The original.
Oh,
If you
that's
ever
a
watched
shame.
the DVD of the first one they made, I'm all of a sudden the guy sitting next to you.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Louis C.K.
Hello.
Louis C.K.
The first one, the original, the DVD with his commentary is really great.
Oh,
Where you
yeah.
find out how they used, like the upstairs of the cabin, and then the basement was somewhere like hundreds of miles away or something. Like
Yeah, it was in there. The upstairs was in Tennessee. The downstairs was in Marshall, Michigan.
Right.
Wow.
So,
Right.
the
Yeah.
magic of motion pictures.
Wow.
Somebody pointed
I
out.
hope you shot it all at once.
Somebody pointed out to me that in Evil Dead 2, every single person in the movie beats the shit out of you at some point. There's
think it's pretty
nobody in
safe
the
to
movie
say,
that
yeah.
doesn't bash you in the head like millions.
Well, I
of
thought it was
times.
fun. Sam Raimi goes on to direct The Quick and the Dead. He's got Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, Sam, you going to hit them with a 2x4 to get him ready for a scene? You're going to poke Gene Hackman? How are you going to get him motivated? He's like, shut up. And he didn't have an answer, though.
No. The
I love the movies. I'm a big fan.
In Fargo.
And Bubba Hotep. Did you talk to him about
we're
that?
going to talk about that.
Right.
I just want to talk about Fargo.
Can
This
I
morning
just
I
say
go to my
one thing
car.
about the
I hit it
movies?
accidentally.
I know the most boring thing to do in an interview is like doing a Chris Farley. I love that part. Thing,
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm sorry.
Do it.
In Evil Dead 3, when you're trying to undo the spell by saying the magic words.
Oh, yeah.
Klaatu Verata Nicto.
Again! I got it!
Klaatu Verata
And he mumbles like as if the
'Cause he doesn't know
spirits
the
of
last
the
one,
dead
yeah.
would go like, hey, I'll give it to
That
him.
was close enough. Yeah, close enough.
Klaatu,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then basically that leads to the deaths of about 250 innocent people.
Because he just wasn't listening.
I'm gonna go